Hey, Jim Malone here from NJHypno.com. Thanks for tuning in. And today's video was inspired by, of all things, a cheap boardwalk prize. And you may have seen one of these before. They're often called Chinese finger cuffs or Chinese handcuffs. I don't actually know if they're Chinese in origin, but that's what they seem to call them. And what it is, it's a thinly woven tube, and you put a fingertip in each end. And the trick is that if you try to escape the trap by pulling your fingers apart, the harder you pull, the more stuck you get. The trap tightens. And as I was looking at this the other day, came across it in a junk drawer, it reminded me, or it struck me, that this resembles a lot of the problems people bring into the office here. And I'll give you an example. Let's imagine somebody has insomnia. So they're tense and they're anxious, but they're really tired and would really benefit from a good night's sleep. Quite often they'll lay there and they'll try to force themselves to go to sleep. And what happens? The harder they try to force themselves asleep, the more awake they become. They work against what it is that they want. But this isn't limited to people with sleep problems. This will happen with folks who are anxious and stressed. They'll resist having those feelings, and they'll often beat themselves up in the process, like, what's wrong with me? I have nothing to be afraid of or worried about. And in doing so, they often make themselves feel a whole lot worse. This also comes up in habit control sessions, like for quitting smoking or overcoming eating junk food or drinking too much alcohol. They'll do something similar. At times they'll consciously resist while beating themselves up, like, how could I be so stupid? What's wrong with me? So on and so forth. And it doesn't help, and it's often kind of destructive. And that error is actually understandable because you see, in so many areas of our lives, that struggle and strain actually is how we get things done, how we get our results. But with these different types of mind traps, doing something different is often called for. And what's cool is that the finger trap kind of gives us a model to follow. Let me show you. So, first thing you need to do is acknowledge that you're stuck and that you have a problem. And that whatever you've been doing up until now really hasn't worked. And there's an old saying that goes, the true definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the result to change. So you step back, you pause, you acknowledge that you're stuck, you acknowledge that you need to do something different. And then you relax. And you become willing to explore new ways of responding. And quite often in doing so, you give yourself that wiggle room, and the trap often just falls away. And a hypnosis session is kind of similar. We examine whatever the problem is or the goal you have. We look at what you've done up until now, and we get you into a relaxed state and have you explore new ways of doing things. And if you'd like to learn more, including finding out how we could possibly work together one-to-one, please give me a call at 732-714-7040, or if you're over at my website, use one of the contact forms, send me a message, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. But most importantly, take good care of yourself. Have a great day, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye for now.